Today, Baba is talking about not losing time in the mischiefs of childhood and realizing that we are one prasthis. We the souls are in our old age. What does Baba call the one prasthi? So, Baba says you are in the stage of retirement. So, we do not have to waste our time and thought in the mischiefs of childhood and focus just on remembrance and seva. And you see that when a child, when you are in child consciousness, then the things you pay attention to and those things that matter to you are very different than what you pay attention to as an adult, what matters as an adult. And then again, when you are in a stage of retirement, then also what matters to you is very different from the other two stages. And you see that Baba has given us this knowledge that I'm a soul, and as a soul, even if physically in the context of the body, I may be a child or a youth or an adult or an old person, but as a soul, I am a vanprasthi, which means I am in the stage of retirement. I'm above 60. So I've finished most of my journey, and this is the time I have to prepare to go back. And when people are in their old age, I don't know, that seems to be happening less and less today, but that is the tradition that when you are in your old age, you think about, puja, bhakti, and then you think about, how you will, because in the world they think they want mukti, they don't want to come back into the cycle. So they start making effort for that. Yes, and I remember that there was this one brother, and he used to tell me that his father is hell bent upon leaving the house and going and staying in some ashram. And he told me that I don't want my father to leave home, but he says that now I'm 60 and I want you to take care of the house and the business, and this is the tradition, and I just want to live my life in an ashram. And then he used to tell me, why don't you counsel him? And I said, why don't you just leave him and let him go? And then he went, and then he came back, the father, and he said that I felt that there was not much tapasya happening in the ashram also, because there was, there is a lot of what do you say, expansion and waste in bhakti. So he felt that he was not doing what he left to do. So then he came back. So now Baba tells us that earlier people used to think that, in Banaras there is this, I don't know, Mukti Bhavan or what they call, and people go and live there until they leave their body. And that is what they want to do in their final stages. So they just stay there until they leave their body. But Baba says that that is not how you determine or ascertain that your final thoughts will lead to your final destination. So, if you just leave the house and stay in some pilgrimage place, that doesn't ensure that when you leave the body, you will get a purer body. It doesn't work like that. But Baba says that if you just withdraw your mind, intellect, and all your resources from the waste and expansion of this world, and you just pay attention to remembrance and seva, then you earn an income. Even if you're going to office, even if you're staying at home, but if your mind and intellect are completely withdrawn from the nuisance of the world, from the mischiefs of the, from getting caught up in the details of what's happening in the world, and then you just focus on your remembrance and seva, then you can ascertain that when you leave the body, you will go to, Satyug with Baba. And for this, Baba says that you have to realize that now you are a vanprasthi. Whatever age you are in, you are a vanprasthi as a soul, and you have to focus on remembrance and seva while you get up, while you sleep, all day. That is your only business. And rest, everything is just time pass. You go to work, you stay with people, all that is just, it's just there. But your focus is on remembrance and seva. And for that, you need to leave the mischiefs of childhood and just think about, you see, what does remembrance and seva need? Remembrance and seva needs all our resources. Yes, our time, our thought, our energy, our body, mind, wealth, everything they need. Now, if we are caught up in the mischiefs of childhood, what is the mischiefs of childhood? So, the first mischief of childhood is wasting time. Yes, or entertaining yourself with, with stuff that doesn't really add to your spiritual progress, or, wasting your thought in thinking about people and their sanskars and stuff, or, reacting to situations. So, when you are ignorant, you do these things. When Baba says mischiefs of childhood, it means that when we were not knowledgeful, when we were ignorant, we used to do all these things. But now, if we are doing the same thing, if we are still, what do ignorant people do? They waste their resources in partying and holidaying and going for just entertaining themselves and eating and drinking, and all of that is the quality of an ignorant soul. But if we, now that we are knowledgeful and we know what really matters, we wouldn't invest our resources in this stuff. Yes, and I remember that there was this one Mata, and she once told me that I want to come and do some seva in the center. And I told her, okay, you come for a week and let's see what happens. So she came, and then in 3 days, her daughter called, and then she said that, that daughter is grown up, and then she said, I have some problem in the family and I'm not feeling good and I want you here. And then the Mata said, I want to go there and I will come back later. So I said, no, there is no need to come back. You just go because you don't understand what matters and what doesn't matter. So you see, Even if you're there, can you finish your daughter's problem? I said, you were there until 3 days back and you could do nothing to finish your daughter's problems. You have been with her for 30 years and still she's in problem. And what makes you think that today when you go there, your problems will finish? But you don't have any aim for your own life. You don't understand the value of your own life. You don't have any lakshya. You don't have any, aim. That's why you don't care about your time. You don't care about your energy. You don't think that that is valuable. That's why you want to go there and waste it, just like you wasted all your life. So this is the thing, we are just caught up in people and things and matters of the world, and then in our own emotions. People are so what do you say, so attached to their emotions. I am feeling like this, I am feeling sad, I am feeling sorrowful, I am feeling insulted, I am feeling, these days they say I'm feeling depressed. So what if, even if you're feeling like that, why do you have to attach so much importance to your feelings? Why can't you just, why are you empowering those feelings, and why are you not making the effort to get over it? And it is your feelings. If you just took a decision that I don't want to engage in you, you wouldn't. And that is our experience in seva. You see, if you feel the body, even if there's a fever in the body, you feel it, it starts affecting you. You don't think about it, it doesn't affect you. So anything physical or anything emotional or anything that's happening in the mind, Baba says, why are you playing these games of childhood? Then which you start engaging with it. So, when you're children, you don't know you play with dirt. Yes, you don't know that this is dirty and this is not a toy. And Baba says that this is what you do when you're ignorant. But when you are Trikaldarshi, and you know that you have been doing all this, so Baba says you have to seat yourself on the seat of Trikaldarshi and just think about what you have been doing for 63 births. And in all these 63 births, you did all of this worry, fear, feelings of sadness, sorrow, anger. You engaged in all of this, you engaged in all the matters of the world. And what has it led to? Nothing, just depletion. So Baba says, just think about, and there are many people who ask us, sometimes they ask us, don't you feel like going out? Don't you feel like holidaying? Don't you feel like partying? So I tell them, we've done that for 63 births. So have you heard of the expression, been there, done that? So we've done that. For 63 births, we've done only that. How much more do we want to do it? And now we're fed up of it. And now I understand that it is not serving me, it is not helping me. And people are just, and what is the definition of madness? So the definition of madness is you keep doing something over and over again without it giving you the result that you're seeking. So basically, so that's what we are doing. So Baba says you're trying to solve things, but they are never getting solved, but you're still doing the same thing over and over again. And then Why are you doing it? So Baba says, these games of childhood, you have to stop now. And I saw one sister in the center, and she spent one whole day lying in bed and saying that I felt hurt by what somebody said to me. And then after, she wasted a whole day doing nothing, no seva, nothing. And then after one day, she came and said sorry to me. So I said, you don't have to say sorry to me. I'm not in loss. You say sorry to yourself. You lost one day of Sangam Yoga. The work doesn't stop. Do you think that if you didn't do seva, something stopped? No. The seva will only grow and prosper. Whether somebody does it or doesn't do it, doesn't matter. You do what you do for yourself. So say sorry to yourself, not to me. And I don't mind. I'm very happy being a king. So nobody does it. I do everything. I become the king. I'm very happy doing that. So you see that this is how it is working. So Baba says that you have to understand that for 63 births we have done only this. And then you have to see that if you use your time and energy well, what you could be for the next 21 births. And you have to keep that aim in front of you. And you also have to keep the ticking clock in front of you. That, time is passing second by second. And there's a very beautiful song that Baba plays in the Murli. ये वक्त जा रहा है, वो वक्त आ रहा है, करना है जो भी कर ले, ये वक्त जा रहा है. So Baba says that the time is passing second by second, and I have to be very aware that it is now or never. And I have to pay attention to what really makes me earn imperishable income, and what wastes my time and energy, and what makes it what makes it fruitful. So I have to pay attention to remembrance and seva. That's the only thing that makes my time and energy fruitful. So let me invest in that. And just ask yourself today, are you playing the games of childhood, or are you being a wise soul, a Trikaldarshi, and thinking just about remembrance and seva all day? And are you making income, or are you losing out on fortune? So this is something that you have to pay attention to. And I remember there was this one brother, and he told me something very nice. He said that, um, you know, I have wasted all my life in trivial matters. He came to the center at the age of 70, and he said that I have wasted all my life in trivial matters, and now I just want to focus on God. But he couldn't, because that sanskar didn't allow him. But you see, when we come at a young age and we have not created, although there are 63 births of sanskars, but still, whatever time we have come, whatever time we have come to Baba, we must appreciate that, the sooner we came, the better. So let me just not spoil my sanskar further, and create divine sanskars and make my time and energy fruitful. So this is first thing. And then Baba today says that Baba has come to teach us our elevated religion and elevated actions, and we must check whether we are engaging in any devilish action. Yes, and the first one is, Baba says that whenever you're body conscious, then you have vicious thoughts. and you have vicious drishti. You look at other people's bodies, and you think about their bodies and check whether that is your vision and that is your thought. And you need a very good intellect to check that. You need a very clean intellect to check that. And you see that sometimes we don't even realize how this lust works, and how your behavior changes around somebody you are attracted to. Some, and you see, somebody is some body, right? So you're always attracted to a body. They don't say some soul you're attracted to, it's a body you're attracted to. So how you need a very clean intellect to recognize that you're thinking, and you have this drishti, which is body conscious. And as soon as you recognize it, then what do? You change it. You become cautious that Maya is deceiving you. Because you see that for 63 births, what we have taught is uh, who, who knows if I have impure drishti, and who knows if I have impure thoughts. So I must abstain from impure action, but I don't need to abstain from impure thoughts and drishti. Yes, that's the belief system, and you don't check and change that. But do you know that whatever is budding in your awareness and mind will definitely manifest itself in action someday? And your sanskars will deceive you. They will make you do something one day which you will be very shocked of, and they will land you in a lot of trouble. But um, maybe because you don't check the root, you don't understand how they are increasing day by day, and when they come into action, they are going to put you in trouble. And they're going to put you in trouble in terms of crime also, and in terms of sin also. But we don't understand these things. And you see, I sometimes you see somebody who has been very proper and very decent and very well behaved, they suddenly do something which shocks everybody. They speak something, they act in a certain way which shocks everybody. And then they are not able to handle the reaction that comes. But the thing is, you have sown that seed in your thought and drishti, and you have watered it and never checked it. And that's why today it has come into action at a very inopportune time. But that seed was sown by you. And the most important thing is, even if in the world you don't feel, in the world you don't have an episode where that backfires, but according to the theory of karma, it will backfire. Because tomorrow, when we will give our account to Dharmraj, so at that time, we will not get the position we are seeking in the new world, and we will be deceived by our sanskars. So Baba says that don't encourage these thoughts and these feelings and these drishti that is inside you. Check and change it. So do you check and change it? Or do you make the effort to see things that spoil your drishti? Yes. So do you? So you see, when you see something then it starts coloring your vision. And if you make an attempt to see things which make your drishti impure, then that impure drishti will again, lead to impure actions. So, do you make sure that you are not consciously saying stuff and, thinking about these stuff which the world is serving you? And do you make an attempt to check your drishti and thoughts, or are you doing the opposite? And you see, there is this one person, and he was sharing that earlier he had a maryada about who he used to have vicious thoughts about. So he said, I had a maryada about, this relationship I cannot think vicious thoughts about, or this person I cannot have vicious thoughts about. But he told me that over the last 5 years, he has noticed that he has vicious thoughts about everyone. And he said that I am very troubled by this and I'm kind of scared of myself. But I told him that, this has not happened on its own. You have been consuming content of that kind, which has no maryada. So, that's why this kind of vision is there in you. And when you see things which are very crossing all the boundaries, then you will cross all the boundaries in thoughts and eventually in action. So Baba says you must check these thoughts and check these drishti that you have. And then the most important practice that you need to do is to see yourself as a soul, practice soul consciousness. And it is all these vicious thoughts have association with the body. And when you see the body, then these thoughts arise. But if you practice very well that you are a soul, then you will see as you are. So the first vision that you will have, the first thought that you'll have is, the one in front of me is a soul. And then these vicious thoughts will be easy to control. And you see, it is always awareness that blocks or encourages vicious thoughts. Yes, when you go to the temple and you see the image of a deity, then the image of the deity is very attractive and very beautiful, but you don't have vicious thoughts about it because your awareness is not this is a woman, your awareness is this is a deity. So it is your awareness that makes the difference. And Baba says you have to work on your awareness. If you create that awareness that I am a soul, then you will be able to see everyone with that awareness. And so the most important practice is practicing that I am a soul and staying in remembrance of Baba. So that when you see somebody, your first thought is this is a soul. And you see, there are many people who are very gender biased, and then their awareness is that a woman is an object of sensual gratification, and a man is not an object of sensual gratification. So then when they look at the man, they think about what they do, what position they are in. But when they look at a woman, they just think about lustful thoughts. So why? Because that's the awareness. So Baba says you need to work on your awareness if you want to change your vision and your thoughts. So this is one thing that Baba says. And then second thing Baba says is, most of these days people say that I'm just joking, and then they say something very inappropriate, and they say something very which crosses the boundaries of Maryada, and then they would say, I was just joking. And Baba says, you mustn't say something in the way of a joke which has the vibrations of vices. And you see, this is something that we have to be very careful about, because where people think that when you say you are joking, then you are allowed to cross every boundary. But Baba says, no, we Brahmins have to be very careful that even in the context of, jokes or comedy or whatever, we don't cross our line. We don't those things don't have the vibrations of vices. So you have to take care of that. And then Baba says today that you have to take care of the words you speak. So don't speak words which are not jewels of wisdom or jewels of knowledge. And you see, sometimes Baba today points out that sometimes you just say that somebody's mad, are you mad? Are you crazy? And Baba says, these words are not knowledgeful words. So always speak something that helps somebody sit on the seat of Swaman, not pull them down from their self respect by saying such words. And you see, maybe somebody has 101 problems in them, weaknesses in them. But what is your aim? Do you want them to feel bad about it, or do you want them to be better? If your aim is just to make them feel bad about it, then you keep using that language. But if you want them to be better, then by reconfirming or reinforcing their weakness by saying that you are this, you're not helping them become better. And they will not become better at the pace you want them to become. They will become better at the pace at which they are destined to become. But if you become a support in that process, then you will earn the blessings. And if you become somebody who keeps beating them with their body conscious words, then you incur a spiritual loss. Yes, so even if somebody has a lot of, kami kamzori, a lot of weakness in them, it's not my duty to label them like that and reinforce it and make them feel bad about it constantly. So Baba says, keep a tab on your language and use words that elevate somebody. Don't use words that demean somebody. So this is also there. And then Baba says that just watch, just notice, or just observe how your sense organs are behaving when you see someone or see something, and you see there is this thing that, when you see something not happening according to you, then you feel rage. Yes, and you feel that rage in your body. And I remember there was this one brother, and he was taking me in a car from somewhere to somewhere, and then whenever he saw somebody not driving according to him, then his face would just go red. And he couldn't shout because I was sitting with him. So he couldn't shout, but his face would go red with rage. And then I told him, when he got down, I said, your face changes so much when you see somebody not driving according to you. And then he said, no, I can't help it. I feel that anger. So I said, but you can't help it in that moment. But what are you doing to help yourself in the long run? So do you observe that? Do you observe how, you have these this how your body reacts when you are seeing somebody, or when you are seeing somebody's actions, or you are seeing somebody having something. So when you see somebody's attainments and you see somebody's acquisitions, then what kind of feelings are you getting, or how is your body reacting? So just look at that, and then look at what is my stage, and make an effort. Have yoga, because without yoga, you can't calm down your senses. You see, the spiritual stage is being reflected in our physical senses. And until and unless we purify ourselves with yoga, these physical senses are not going to calm down. And in Satyug, we are not going to have this kind of lack of physical control. So Baba says that just look at how your body is reacting in every scene, situation, and in times of attraction, and then see, and then make an effort to have enough yoga power to calm down your senses. So these are very important teachings and directions that Baba is giving us to check and change ourselves, and have very good intellect to discern how Maya is deceiving you and overcome that deception. Om Shanti.